Hey guys, Cobb here, and today we're going to be doing part 2 of the flashlight system, where we add battery, battery depletion, and battery pickups. Now I'm going to try to make this one a bit more faster paced than yesterday's, because it was a little slow for the amount of content we were putting in there. I was very sick. I still am, but less now. So let's get right into it, so we don't waste any time. Alright, let's jump straight into our character. And we need to, when did that up? We need to make a new function, right? And we'll call this flashlight deplete battery. Okay. And let's go into our toggle flashlight. And when we turn the flashlight on, if you remember, right up here, we need to set timer by function name. All right. Object self and function name, this has to be exactly the same as this function we just made, so I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste it. You can make a variable for this, but we only do it twice in the entire thing. I just don't think it's necessary. So the time is how long to wait before executing the delegate, right? And that's why we have the flashlight depletion rate. Now I'm going to give this a value of 0.5 to start off with. So every half second this function is called, and we want to make sure looping is checked. Alright, let's go back into our flashlight deplete, and we want to set the battery level to, we got to get flashlight battery level, what it's already at, and we got to subtract the flashlight depletion amount, and we will set this value to make it more obvious. Every half second it takes off, I don't know, 8. So it'll go real fast, but it's all for testing. Now we gotta clamp this. Oop, not axis. Clamp float. Right? To make sure it never goes below 0, never goes above 100. Well, not 100 necessarily, but never above our flashlight max battery, which we made 100, which I feel like most people would do, but it's your game, not mine. Alright, if statement, and, oh, you know what? Ignore that completely. I lied to you. Nope, turns out I lied to you about lying to you. Okay, so we're gonna take an if statement, and what we have to do is check if the battery life is less than or equal to 0. And if it is, we have to call toggle flashlight. Okay, so before we test it, let's go back into toggle flashlight and let's stop the battery timer if you turn the flashlight off. So all you have to do is clear timer by function name. Do I still have this copied? Yes, I do. And object is self. Okay, let's compile and save. And in order to test it out, let's make a tick function real quick that we will remove later. Print string, and we are going to we're going to print the flashlight battery level. All right. So now let's test it out. Hit play, flashlight starts off, our battery level is 74. Every 0.5 seconds it should remove 8, and when we hit 0, it should go out. There we go, perfect. Can't turn it back on because we're now at 0. Easy peasy. Alright, second thing we gotta do is let's actually make that display look a lot nicer. I don't know why I always get these giant folders. But let's make a new one called flashlight and go into it and make a widget blueprint. Okay, and we'll call this flashlight battery progress bar. Alright, actually right before we do that, let's make our second one, and we will call this main HUD, except that shouldn't be in the flashlight. Let's just put that into content. Move. Okay. That here. Alright, but let's open flashlight battery and let's get rid of the canvas panel. Okay, create a progress bar. Call it battery. Is variable, yes. Let's just test that, okay. Left to right, yes. And let's make the color a nice green. Green's always battery. 0, and that's real bright, but whatever. It's good enough. And then we gotta bind the percent. So let's cast to third person character. Let's get our get player character. Okay, that's third person character. We gotta call the flashlight battery level. We gotta get the flashlight max battery, and we have to divide those. And we do this so we get a proper percentage. Okay. Now let's go into our main HUD. Now the reason I do it like this, and I didn't just, because we're going to go into user created and we're just going to put the flashlight battery like there. And the reason I do it like that is because I only have to ever put the main HUD in the third person character to add to the viewport, instead of adding a whole bunch of different ones in order to show everything I want to show. So we're going to anchor this to bottom left, position 100, and the position Y will be -100. Ignore my mistake. Yeah, in size, we can just make it, let's say, 300 by 20. Yeah, sure, I like that. Alright. That should be everything for that. Let's go back into the third person character. We can get rid of the tick now because we're going to have a display. Going to begin play in there. Let's create a widget. Make it main HUD. And we are going to make a reference for this, just so we can always come back to it later without having to do this step again. And we'll add the reference to the viewport. If you're doing just this specific tutorial, you can really skip the making a reference, because I don't think we ever actually have to reference it again in this tutorial, but it's a good habit to have. I'm going to put all these into a flashlight category. There we go. I just like being very organized. Alright. So, that should be everything we need. Yep, there it is right there. Should be at 74. We turn it on. Every half second, we're taking away 8. Perfect. Alright, so to make this look a little cleaner, I'm still going to make it go real fast. But if we take the depletion rate to, say, 0.1, and depletion amount to, say, 1, should still be fast, but that should give it a much cleaner look. Yeah, there you go. That's probably some more of what you would want. But slower, or not. Once again, doesn't really matter. Okay, and last thing we gotta do is add battery pickups. So let's go into our flashlight folder, add a new blueprint class. This is going to be a very, very simple battery pickup. If you have any questions, you want it to be more advanced in any one way, please leave a comment, and I'll consider making a tutorial about it. So we'll just call this battery pickup. Open that up. Change this to scene so we don't have the ugly. Add a cylinder. This will be our battery. In fact, we can call it battery. The size, let's make it 0.1 by 0.1 by 0.3. There we go. And let's give it a new let's give it a battery, like, let's give it the door. There we go. That looks like some sci-fi battery. Perfect. Change this to 5. Put that like that. All right. Let's add another component. This will be a sphere collision, and this will be attached to the battery. And let's give it a 0, so it's set. All right. So let's make it about 3 times that size. What's 32 times 3? 96. All right. Math was never my best subject. Okay. So this sphere will be, once you overlap with this sphere, then the battery will be picked up. So let's go to the sphere, scroll down, and on component begin overlap, which will appear in the event graph. All right, perfect. All right, so let's cast to third person character. This will be attached to other actor. Then we gotta make an if statement, and the condition is if the, let's make a reference to this, because I know we're going to be using it too many times. It's going to get messy. So character ref. All right, this will make it a lot easier. And the thing I did with the HUD ref in third person character, this is the exact same idea behind it. So we take our character ref and let's get flashlight battery level. Alright, and let's also get flashlight max. I love being able to spell. Max battery. Okay, and if the flashlight battery level is less than the flashlight max battery, then we have to set, this is where we're going to need this again. We have to set the flashlight battery level to a clamped, let's clamp this first, so clamp float. So we gotta get, there, we can just take it right from here again, so flashlight battery level, right? And we're gonna add on to that with the battery amount. Now let's make a variable for that. So battery amount, float, and let's make that editable so that you can change that real quick. Plug that into the value. But we want to clamp it with a max battery so that it doesn't ever go above 100 in our case. Battery amount, let's default set this to, I don't know, 30. Okay, so let's make new if statement. I totally lied to you again. Don't worry about it. All we have to do now, for now, is destroy the actor. So after it adds on 30 units of battery, 30%, the actor will be destroyed. And one last thing before we do this. So let's make a new one called sphere radius. And this will be the size of this right here, in case you want to change it. We can just jump right into the construction script and take the sphere, set sphere radius to this. and update overlaps is checked. And let's exit out of here. Where is everything? Made it a little too dark. And let's throw a battery in there. Okay? So that's a... Oh! You know what we did? We left this at 0. Let's put it at what we had. And there it is. Alright, so once you overlap that, that's when the battery life will be added and the battery will disappear. And you can change all this right here, you know, if you want this bigger or smaller. I like 96. And then this will be the amount the battery adds on. So, press play. There's our battery. Now we're at 74 right now, I believe. So this will bring us up to 100 because it's clamped. So we collect it. There, we're already at 100 battery. Flashlight, I'm sorry, still works. Let's try giving it an amount of 2. So we'll just add 2. Flashlight's on. Adds 2. Very little. Yeah, still works. And just for the sake of debugging, let's get this higher amount again. Let's try it when the flashlight's on and depleting. So see, flashlight's going down real quick. We add it, goes up. It's still depleting, and it's great. You can just alt drag a bunch of these, make multiple of them, give them different amounts for each if you would like. This one's worth 5. That one's worth 30. Yep, there we go. And that should complete our battery life. Last thing to check, I guess, is when it goes to 0 again, it turns off. We cannot turn it back on. Turn it off, stops depleting. Perfect, yeah, that seems like everything works. If I missed anything, or if you have any questions or comments, just leave them down in the comment section below, and I will do my best to get back at you. And thank you so much for watching.